Hello, my name is Joan Rudder-Ward, the host and producer of Silver Sage, a program featuring people 50 and over who are living life to the fullest, fulfilling dreams and living out loud. Our goal is to encourage you to live your life and not your age. Besides, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? Today we're in the Big Apple visiting Mary Jones, the founder and creator of Just Do It Crew, a venue designed to help people find purpose and pursue their dreams. Mary is fulfilling her own dream by helping others achieve theirs. What is Just Do It Crew?
It's a group of people, pretty much all of them are younger than me though. It's a group of people that comes together to encourage each other, to motivate each other, to hold each other accountable for walking in their dreams, for living their dreams, for trying to make them happen. I say try, but it's really a matter of making them happen because it's important. We meet every other week. We usually don't meet here in my home. We meet here when it's a special occasion or when I want to cook for the kids. But otherwise we meet in a very, very, very beautiful large location over by the water in Williamsburg near the East River.
So what gave you the idea for this organization?
I think it comes out of something I've been doing all my life, which is encouraging people, especially young people, with my kids, my children's friends. But when I began to go to the church that I go to, Hillsong, New York, I noticed that a lot of people would come to me and talk to me and ask me what they should do. I guess it's the gray hair. Well, what should they do, if they should do this in life, if they should do that, or if they should get a job, if they should follow their dreams. And being a person that has lived her dreams, I think I can pretty much say, especially now that I'm doing this, I can say that I've lived everything that I've wanted to live. My advice has almost always been, do what's in your heart to do. Follow your dreams, follow your hearts. Because if, a couple reasons, if you don't, it'll never leave you alone. It's going to keep coming back. And the other big reason is because our culture, this world, absolutely needs the gifts and the dreams that are inside of people. Because that's what makes this world a better place, a good place.
Tell me, why do you think that people don't go after their dreams or they don't fulfill their dreams?
Because it's tough. The world is not designed, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to take it back to being a Christian. Satan has no desire whatsoever for people to live their dreams. Because if they do, then they will make this world the way God wants to see it. And it'll be a beautiful place. So of course he's going to stop it, and he's going to make it as tough as possible. One of the things I always tell my daughter is, whatever that thing is that keeps you from doing something, that makes you wait and say, when I get, or when I can have, or when I can do, that's what Satan's going to hold back from you. He'll keep holding that until you finally realize that's not the thing that's holding you back. You just do it anyway, and that's where the name came from. Just do it. Just do what's in our heart. And we're a crew. We're a crew of people that just do it. So Just Do It Crew. Okay. And I think it's really, 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 really important for people to just let what's in their hearts out. The world can go in some crazy directions where people go hungry, which it happens now. People are caught up in slavery. All things happen, but generally I think a lot of people's hearts are good, and if we let the thing that's in our heart happen, then we can take care of all those awful, rotten things that happen, and we can mold this world and make it into the place that it should be.
Okay. So in essence, you're saying if somebody doesn't go to fulfill those dreams that are in their heart, we're talking positive things, of course, that the world is missing out on something.
I think the world's missing out on something. The sad thing is, I think if God calls us to do something, if He calls a person to do something and you don't do it, then He'll bring somebody else along to do it. He'll raise somebody else. But in between that time that you stop and don't do it and somebody else raises up, then there's somebody else or some other people in there that are lost because they needed what you were carrying. And that's just my belief, and that's why I fight so hard for this.
Okay, so in essence, it's like if somebody doesn't do what they're supposed to do, then someone else somewhere is suffering because of it.
I believe so. I truly believe so.
Yeah, I'd have to say I believe so with you, because we weren't created to be here to just live to ourselves. We have, we're supposed to impact others, and anything that
Impact others.
what we do, good or bad, it affects other people other than just ourselves.
Right. Yeah. That's what I believe.
Okay. And so, so also with your group, one thing that makes it really good too is the accountability factor. And because people usually, when they have to be accountable to somebody, they're more likely to carry through. Do you find that to be true?
Absolutely. One person in our group early on, his name is Kwabena, who's doing some amazing things. Kwabena took on the task of holding me accountable.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was really funny. Kwabena would call me, and Kwabena is a lot younger than me, so he's one of the kids too. But Kwabena would call me, or he would send me a text, and he'd say, "Hey, MJ, how'd your day go? What are you working on? What did you accomplish?" And I'm like, okay, I did this, I did that, I did this, and I played. He said, "But did you do this, that, and the other?" And I thought that he had a lot of nerve, and that was really good, but he held me accountable. And that's what we each do with each other. Even the people that we've been going now for close to 3 years or over 3 years, I'm not sure. But even the people, I call them the old timers that started from the very beginning, we still hold each other accountable. We do that a lot with each other. We follow up, we hold each other accountable because it is important.
Okay. What progress have you seen in the 3 years that you've had that you started the group?
When Kwabena first started with us, Kwabena was sort of stuck and he was working on his project. But right now, Kwabena's at the point where he's launched his website. Everything is all set and ready to roll. I think he has his patent. I'm not sure he has it yet, but I think he does have his patent now. If he doesn't, he's really close to it. Janice produced a musical, and we loved the musical. We went back and forth about the name. It was started out as Scandal the Musical, and then Janice, who always gets these bright ideas, decided to name it Scandusical, which was really cute. And she actually produced it. She got the cast, she got the location, and she actually was able to put it up. And each night, she put it up for 2 shows for one night, and each show was packed.
Wow.
There were people standing for it. It was awesome. When she needed things, and a lot of times the things that holds people back is they'll think it's money. Janice actually talked to the group about money one time and said it's not money that we need, it's provision. And Janice can tell you that from experience, because everything she needed was provided. When she needed a cast, it was provided. Musicians, they were provided. Costumes, they were provided. The location for the place, the location for the rehearsals, that was provided. Everything was provided. Another success story, my daughter Ashley. I don't think Ashley ever thought that she was actually a singer, although she used to drive us crazy singing all the time. Well, now Ashley has done numerous shows in various locations in New York, which has been amazing. She's performed in Philadelphia. She's also released an EP, which which is really, really, really good. It's a French name and I can't even pronounce it, but it's under Ashley Noel Jones, and it's on iTunes, and it's really good. And she, for somebody that I thought would never be able to perform in front of people, I'm surprised to see her be able to do that. She's on the worship team at church, just like a couple other people, including Janice, and I talk about Janice a lot because I love Janice. But she performs in front of people, and when she gets up there and performs, she's just like a different person. And I think what I love so much about it is that it encourages other people that they can do that. The same thing with everything that any person has been successful about doing. They've been very public about it and very transparent. The ups, the downs, the good things, everything about it. They've been very transparent so other people can see what they're doing, and it's just been awesome. And with me, I thought that I was ready to retire, and one of the things that I realized that if I was going to lead this group, I was going to have to lead by showing, not just by talking. And so one of the first things I did was publish a book. And I published it myself. I did a self-publishing because I wanted the people to know that you don't have to wait for others to open a door for you or say, hey, you are just as good as you can come in here and do this. But when somebody won't open a door for you, the greatest thing is we have is talent and gifts, and we can open doors ourselves. And when we open those doors, just like Janice did, we make way for other people. Janice gave people work. She had a whole crew. She gave them work. And Kwabena, with his business, he has people working for him. When Ashley performs, she has, she almost always will have somebody perform with her. And it's just amazing. The one young lady that wrote this book, Eden's Wish, Tara vacillated between working in the corporate world, serving in church faithfully, and writing off and on, until finally she decided, I've got to write. And she left her job. People thought she was crazy, and she's going to talk about that tonight. She left her job, went to graduate school, I think in Australia, left the U.S. and went to graduate school in Australia, and went back to writing. And her book now has been published through Disney. She caught their attention because God made connections for her, and she was able to publish this book, and it's awesome. Gosh, I guess I could name any number of people that are just doing such amazing things, stepping out. We were just at a launch party of a young lady in the group. Her name is Camila, and the name of her company is Camila Be in Your Closet. It's really cute, but her launch party had such class to it. She had chefs there that created the most amazing food for her launch party. She had someone there who created a signature drink that I don't think I would have ever thought. It was called a French lavender popsicle that was served in a cup of champagne. And it was really, really, really awesome. She wore a dress that somebody designed for her, and it fit perfectly. So these are the things that are happening, and these are the things that I see happening. And it really blesses my heart. It makes me feel great.
Wow, that's really great. Okay, we're going to take a break here for a moment, and we'll be right back.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Thank you for rejoining us. We're here today with Mary Jones of Just Do It Crew. Okay, so Mary.
Yes.
Have you gone any further than the initial meetings with the Just Do It Crew?
Yeah, we, out of the initial meetings were actually just a very, very, very small group of people. I think we started with maybe 6 people. And then I kept just feeling pressure from God to just open the group up because there were so many people that were asking about what we were doing. So posted something on Facebook. We had our first meeting in a place uptown on the Upper East Side, Midtown, somewhere in New York. And totally surprised that the place was packed out. We had room for 50 tables and it was filled.
Wow.
It was filled. We ran out of chairs to put at the tables. So from there, it sort of kind of developed on its own. It had like a mind of its own, and the things that people needed were the things that began to develop out of the group. We ended up coming up with sort of like a curriculum, because I used to be a teacher. We ended up coming up with sort of like a curriculum where we had these sessions. Each week you came, you would do a particular session. And because people were always new, coming, starting, then that meant that all the sessions could be running at one time. Like there were people that were in session 4, there were people also in session 1. There were people also in session 2. It was always running, the sessions were always running because the people were always coming. So out of that we developed this curriculum, a format for the meetings, and people walk through those different formats, and we find that they help. So it's gone from just a sit down, let's talk about what's happening, let's encourage each other, to actually looking at problems, looking at situations, and actually doing something about it.
Wow, so you have a curriculum now, huh?
We do.
Okay, so, and speaking of this curriculum, okay, so the resources that you develop, are they available for others as well?
They are available. It's, there's a manual for starting and leading a Just Do It Crew group. And I think it's pretty simple. And in the manual, each of the sessions are laid out, why they're important, examples of how to even run each session, and then there's what we call a vision map that it actually gets a person engaged in what they're doing, so they're writing down what you're doing. And then we have a daily journal page in there too, where people can hold themselves accountable when you fill out that daily sheet. And you don't have to be really detailed about it, just as long as you are holding yourself accountable. And when you're working on your vision map, you write down on that what you're going to do for the next 2 weeks, so when you come back to the next meeting, you report what you've done. And in the meantime, you have other people in the group that are asking you, how are you doing, how's it going, is it working, what are you working on, where are you at this point, what did you have to do. And when you get stuck, we have another session or another group that we call, not another group, but another session that we call the round table, where you can sit and actually talk with other people that, and you throw out your ideas, you throw out your problems, and somebody just might have the answer to your problem. And when they throw theirs out, they might find somebody else has the answer. And that happens a lot.
Hey Mary, so tell us, what does Just Do It Crew have in the works now?
Some awesome things are happening. For one thing, we're launching a magazine. The magazine is called For Starters. It is for starters, and it's also for starters, this is what you can try. So that's what For Starters is. We've had some amazing, amazing, amazing people agree to give us interviews. We've had some amazing people write articles for us. We've got some of the most fantastic photographers and videographers, and we have 2 other interviews that we want to slide in, and we actually have content for the second issue, even before we put out the first issue. So we're ahead of ourselves. which is great. But this week we're planning, and we also have a lead to how we can actually do a print magazine. So this is just been amazing that we had this opportunity. It's like everything has just been unfolding before us as long as we just keep working. We've got to provide them with the opportunities. We need to give people a platform. We need to give people an opportunity to be launched, like we're launching the magazine. So Ashley and I came up with this idea of doing salons, and the salons are patterned after the salons of the Harlem Renaissance. We have one usually every month, and at each salon we feature an artist. It can be someone who sings, someone who raps, someone who does photography, someone who paints, someone who has a business. We feature that artist. We also feature a chef for the night. So we have a theme for the night, and everything is developed around the theme. The food is developed around the theme. And so the chef is always an aspiring chef, so we're showcasing the chef too. We have the socials right here in our home, so we open up our home and do it. We also felt that we couldn't ask these artists and these people to come and do this stuff for nothing, because this is what's been going on for so long. New York is a tough place, and so many people have such a hard time making it here because it's so expensive. So we didn't feel like we should get anybody to do these things for free. So when an artist performs here, we have the salons and an artist performs, the artist gets part of the money. So we charge tickets, and the artist gets part of the money. The artist gets paid. The chef gets paid. The part of the crew gets paid. And then what's left over we use to put on the next salon. We never ask the chef to provide their ingredients, their stuff for the menu. We never ask them. We ask them for a list, and we grocery shop for them. The artists never have to, if they're going to sing, they never have to provide the speakers, the microphone. We provide all of that. We had an artist here that's a photographer. We had all her pictures placed on the walls, so there were holes in all the walls, and we had to go back and spackle. And at the end of the show, we count out what came in, and then we divide it. And what's left over, like I said, we use for the next one, but we also have a scholarship fund, and out of that scholarship fund, we provide for somebody who is working on some project that needs something. We sew into those people.
Wow.
So that's our goal. People ask me, what's my dream? And I said, I'm living it. Because my dream is to see people making it. My dream is to see people living their dreams. And I'm seeing that because I have an opportunity to sew into that. So that's my dream, and I'm getting to live my dream by doing Just Do It Crew.
My name is Keith Newton. My company is Cookies Anonymous. I bake cookies. Just Do It Crew has been amazing for me because it's nice to know that there's other people out there with dreams. It's motivating to just know that there's people out there that are doing and making and creating, and it's not silly to follow your dreams anymore. You know, people are actually doing it. It's not just you that has a dream and is trying to think of, well, should I do this? Should I follow this path? Nobody else is doing anything crazy. So it's just awesome to know that, you know, you're not alone.
My name is Emily Costa. I am a chef, caterer, and educational food consultant. Just Do It Crew has been extremely influential for me, really for getting me on track with my goals. I have really big dreams and don't actually know how to break them down and chunk them down into reality. So it's been not only inspirational, but helps me achieve what I need to do and set goals and timelines and really keep me on track. So the accountability and just encouragement around it is so amazing, and I'm really thankful and excited to see what's going to be happening down the road.
Do It Crew has really helped kind of like culminate and manifest my dreams into reality these past, I don't know, year and a half since I moved to New York, because I really had a hunch of what I wanted to do when I first moved here, but they've really helped me to pursue it and know that it is a reality for me.
Yeah, this group is really inspirational. I just find that each person just contributes to not just encouragement, but also stimulation for creativity, and also thinking about how I should live my life and how I should think about my purpose here.
The struggle of being an entrepreneur is having big ideas and not a lot of resources. So one of the things that we learned at Just Do It Crew was to use what's in your hand. Right down the street there was Medgar Evers College. So I literally walked into the front door and asked the computer science department if I could have some of their students to start a class where they got coding experience. I got the code and I could pay the students a stipend, like a small stipend, because that's all I had. And that worked out. So that was my first code base. And doing that allowed me to get more talented programmers involved because they could kind of see a roadmap for where everything was going. So my partner, he saw the business plan, he saw the scopes of work, he could see a little bit of code and wanted to be involved. And so that's my CTO. So just this principle of using what's in your hand and not giving up because you feel like you don't have enough, that's the most valuable thing Just Do It gave to me.